Today I read this article which basically had no substance to it. It was the same stuff that they keep putting out over and over again. Oh, yeah, we're building, a couple of apartment buildings, but they're always for veterans, workers, families. There's never elderly and disabled, etc. And and of course, even any affordable housing is probably going to be taken by people who have jobs for lots of reasons, including the fact that if you're homeless, it's really hard to even get there before everybody else to even look at the apartment, so the others are going to get it before you. I don't know how long, probably decades, they've been gentrifying the city, tearing down affordable housing and not building more affordable housing. And even if they steadily build apartments for 10 years, there's not going to be enough apartments. And then there's going to be all these people that can't afford their apartments now that are not going to be able to pay rent, and we know that has already started. So it's going to take a long, long time if it continues. And boy, did they have a very slow start. I've lived in a minivan since 2018, right around October 1st, and I've slept in it every night, even in the freezing cold. And I did have an apartment that I was run out of. I won't go into detail, but it's all the bad things you can think of that could happen in an apartment building, including crazy maintenance, leaks, and bad behavior and stuff. But the main problem for me was I was being stalked and harassed by people in the apartment building. It was happening in other places too, but it was really, really bad there. No help from the police with that problem, no help from any of the agencies involved. This last winter was absolutely horrible for people who lived in vehicles. And it was very cold for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I've been doing this a long time, so I have put together a system to stay warm. So I sleep warm. It's just when I get up, it's really, really cold. And the cold causes lots of problems. And people have problems with their vehicles and stuff when it gets really, really cold. So a lot of vehicles were not running and stuff. And it's just, like I said already, it was hellacious. Very, very hard winter. So the people running the uh, shelter program, the homeless program here in the city, the continuum of care or whatever, they're like a one song act. All they have is go to the shelters, go to the shelters. But the shelters are actually horrible. In the interfaith sanctuary, they treat people better, apparently, at this point in time. In the past, that wasn't true, especially for somebody like me, because I was targeted by the former director. And he told people things that weren't true, like I was trying to shut the shelter down. No, I wasn't. I was trying to change things. That's what I do. Wherever I'm at, I'm trying to change things all the time. And the other shelter, which is the Women's Rescue Mission shelter, uh, I don't know about the men's. The men would say that the things that I told them didn't go on at the men's shelter. A lot of the stuff they do there is just absolutely nuts, and I won't go into the details. But people will not go into them. I've had women tell me they would rather die than go over to, I think it's called City Lights. It's mostly called Jesus Jail by the homeless people. They won't go over there. So when they get through, there's no room at the other shelter. They just walk around in the middle of the night or in the freezing cold. It's dangerous for the young women to be walking around. It's dangerous for anybody to be walking around. So I was in my minivan today, and this is my third day in a 72-hour zone. And so I was going to be leaving pretty soon to go run errands and go park somewhere else for the night. And then I heard all of this noise, and I'm pretty good at just ignoring noises. And I looked outside and I saw the tow truck, and I'm like, what's going on? So I watched for a minute and I saw cops, and I went, okay, they're taking this person's vehicle. So I got out with my cell phone and took some video of the people that were involved, which were the tow truck company, the cops, And what is called the abandoned vehicle unit is what the other people must have been with their little vests on. And then I called all the people I normally call, mayor, city hall, police chief, and then I called the towing company. And the woman told me things that just can't possibly be true and was very defensive. And I just can't tell you how sick I am of the bullshit from the city and the horrible war against the homeless here, and how awfully the homeless have been treated here for so long, and the lack of housing. They waited too long. The problems aren't going to be fixed. There's just going to be a band aid here and a band aid there. That's it.
Dirty coppers. Yeah. The mayor just gave a little interview about how she's on the side of the homeless people getting housing and stuff. And here we go. This is how much the city of Boise is on the side of people getting housing. And there is their army down the street in their little black outfits, towing the home of an elderly man. Because he was parked here, which I think this area right here is 3-day, because the arrow right here is pointing the opposite direction. I do not think he was there for 3 days. Oh, look, we got another guy down here. Well, let's go see what he's doing.